Hello, people of the internet. My name is Lance Moriarty, and welcome to our first ever Shirou Emiya podcast. I'm your host, Lance Moriarty.
I'm Asterisk.
And my name's Dexter.
Yes, the very lovely man is sitting here in front of us. Yeah,
I watch like a mother hawk.
yeah.
Mother Bear.
Pretty great. And today we'll be discussing the character known as Shirou Emiya from the Fate series, and we'll be just doing everything. Fuck, I screwed
Basically,
up.
we're just going to tear him a new one.
I probably will not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're here
He-
to reason. You're here to reason
He-
with us.
Our lovely host here, Dexter. Is it okay that I call you that?
Yes, you're fine calling me.
Sweet. Yeah. Okay. So the lovely Dexter will be our devil's advocate for this this podcast. This to try and reason as to why this kill Shirou Emiya is, not that great, but we'll try. We'll try. We'll try.
Bring it on.
No one. All right. So the first part of our podcast is just discussing about the fact that Shirou Emiya is a bad character. Do you guys want to start off, or should I?
I think you should,
Okay. Cool.
because you're the more.
He
It's
has
your
more of the
podcast.
research.
Oh boy.
You're the R&D of this.
I'm the R&D, yet I'm the one who's gonna get fucking molested with these fucking people just be like, what the fuck? Yeah.
How dare you hate my favorite character? My name is Emiya Shirou X960.
Oh God,
Yeah, it's basically like that. But
we're literally going to get one of those. I guarantee it.
yeah, we're gonna get fucking slaughtered.
Opinions are opinions.
Yes. At the end of the day, they're all just opinions. These are reflecting our personal thoughts about this type of character. It does not mean it's concrete, no matter how many times I might.
Don't
But
buy a
hey,
plane ticket and don't fight me, bro.
I can lift. Okay, so most of you guys won't even win in a fist fight.
I probably would not because I don't want to fight.
Ooh, okay. Okay. So why is Shirou Emiya a bad character in my, I guess, opinion, per se? Well, and this is serious territory now.
Hey man, I want to debate.
Fair enough. All right. So basically, the reason why I think Shirou Emiya is a bad character is the fact that he has no such thing as a personality per se. Because of the fact that he doesn't have a personality, it just means whatever action he takes, it doesn't always mean it's his action per se. So let's say that I want to touch my iPhone in a weird way because I'm a fucking idiot when it comes to that. It's basically like that.
Senpai.
Is it my conscience actually touching the iPhone, or is it just like someone telling me to touch the iPhone? It's basically that kind of difference. I think I've just said my own piece. Okay, Mohammed, take it away.
Well, for me, I'd say it's basically, for me, I haven't really, like how people say read the visual novel or played it. I base it mostly on the animes, and
Not too bad.
I honestly I went through it. I was initiated through it by watching Fate Stay Night.
You're welcome.
Which one? The Dean one?
No, the original one.
You're
Wait,
The
welcome.
original one
You're welcome.
made like in what
Yeah, that's the
2006.
Studio D.
That's
one.
Studio
Yeah,
D.
that's the one. And
You're welcome.
I tell you this, I wanted to shoot myself in the head
Hey, man,
because
when-
the pacing was terrible.
Yeah.
And just Shiro's character, like all of his qualities, I feel like, and people that have watched it, people that don't have watched it, for them, they're kind of hand me downs from his adoptive father. So when I sat through and watched Stay Night, and then I watched UBW and so on, to me it didn't, his character didn't seem that authentic. It wasn't real for me. So, I'm the kind of the guy that grew up with kind of reading books and watching characters that felt more realistic. He doesn't fit that line for me.
I assume he's not like a Harry Potter person.
I guess,
Wait,
yeah.
which one do you have more of a gripe with? The Loma Blade Works variant, or do you mean the Studio Dean variant?
I'd say the Studio Dean one.
I don't remember the Studio Dean one because I didn't want to watch it in 2040p.
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, it was pretty
That
bad.
exists
It
still?
looks crap. I kid you not.
It's the eyes. I feel it's the eyes. They're just so everyone's eyes in
They
the whole
look
show.
empty.
They're empty.
Yeah, it just looks like.
It's like,
what the hell is that?
I don't know what Studio Dean's artistic choice with it was. It was just sort of a bit weird. So like, yeah, I'll give that to you because.
I mean, I would have even preferred the big, huge eyes, like how Higurashi is.
Oh yeah,
Hey man, if the eyes take up like 2/3 of the face, there's an issue.
All right, so Dexter. All right.
I personally do not have any gripes with the character as much as I've seen the series. It's just because each and every single variant of the character sort of varies like in a different manner.
Okay.
Because like there's a total of 4 routes that I do know.
Oh.
So
There's 4.
there's 4. There is
I-
Studio Dean's original one.
That.
So there's the one with like the saber path, and then there's the one with the Rin path, and there's the one with the Sakura path,
if you think
and then we got
Oh, no,
and then we got
if
we
you-
got the Magical Girl series.
No, that doesn't count. That's the thing. That it's Iliosfield's arc is just a spin-off.
It is a spin-off,
It's-
but it does dive into Emiya's character.
It does.
in
I
general.
mean, and it's done. Like I like it to an extent. I mean, I did watch season 1.
Like the popular joke about every single one of like the
It's fun to watch.
whatever
I'll
that
say.
that thing is. Basically, we always say we don't talk about that until season 3.
Maybe I need to watch.
But I have to admit that Emiya inside of the Magical Girl series, Fake Kali Prisma, if I remember the name right, is
Clyde.
a cool Emiya. He's a really cool Emiya.
I would say he still doesn't have a personality, like in my books. But I would definitely say that he is a lot more
Well,
developed.
I
and a lot
mean,
more-
that's the thing with Collide. It doesn't. It strays from the whole Holy Grail route.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see any of that stuff that he does in the regular 3 routes. So obviously it's a totally different personality. It's something completely different.
Yeah.
We don't have him always talking about my ideals are what I'm sticking to at this point. He kind of, like you say, Dexter, he develops.
Yeah,
Right?
There's a more depth into a character as like
Yeah.
Emiya could be. I do agree that like the whole entire thing, like this character is a light novel character,
Yeah.
so it would make a lot of sense that some of the decisions feel like they're more like passive instead of like
Forced?
like an active from like
Yeah.
his character, because like
I guess. Because I think I don't know if there is. You said it's a light novel, right?
yeah, the Unlimited Blade Works series is like starts
Not
off
the
as a-
Unlimited, but the
I mean,
Clyde
the old-
Prisma.
Oh no, Clyde Prisma. I don't know.
I don't think it has any source
I don't
material.
I don't know if it has source material, but I'm
Because
just talking about.
if it doesn't, I mean, it's been created, so just like that. So
But then, like, as
it's a different concept. Which
it's a different concept with like pretty good development,
yeah, it is.
and it's just like going back to just original like Fate Stay Night. I like since the whole entire thing is a light novel.
Yeah.
I think everything seems a little bit more passive just because the character is the light novel character.
Right.
Emiya is the light novel character.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that like the way you feel about the series is just like everything feels. It's more preset compared to
Yeah.
more freedom.
Right.
I would say that I would go as far as this thing. Like, I'm gonna draw us an example here. Have you guys played Assassin's Creed 3?
I've played 1 and 2.
I sadly haven't.
Good, don't play it. Okay, so
It's
there's
good.
Duly
the,
noted.
the third one is pretty notorious among the fan base for being really bad. And
Wait,
one
no, that's not the glitch one.
and related, it was fucking glitchy as fuck.
Oh.
But it wasn't as bad as Unity. That's the thing.
Yeah, Unity I know is the infamous one.
Yeah. So there's this one character that relates to. I can draw a parallel to Shirou. Connor Radonageton, his actual native name. I learned native
I
language.
forgot that it was all based on like natives.
Native Americans, yeah. Because I was a big Canadian nerd back in the day. I know how to pronounce like native, yeah.
That's cool.
Radonageton. Yeah. So basically like that. The thing with this Connor character in this AC3 is that he has good goals. Don't get me wrong with that. But he has no personality in the terms that he doesn't evolve in that way. He always makes decisions that are counterintuitive to the ones that logically make sense, and he never, I guess, grows in like a good way. It's always the fact that, okay, let's present a scenario for this Connor. So let's say that, I want to save these people versus, I want to save my village. Which one makes the more logical sense? He doesn't go over the details. He just says, I'm going to save that because it feels right. That I would say is really bad in terms of just picking up character development in that way.
I think that's sort of just skipping over the details, that there was more in-depth like analysis on like what benefited what, or like what consequences like choosing between like one person or choosing like between the two sides of the fences
Yeah.
could probably impact the character a lot more. So
I would say in that regard, yeah. Yes, I would agree with that. Mohammed, anything to add?
I don't see, because again, like I haven't played 3, so I can't really say much. But again, it's like it's
play only
Oh my
Assassin's Creed and all the way up to Revelations. Everything else is shit.
to be honest, all the references that you're playing right now makes me feel like I'm not a gamer.
oh my god.
We're all nerds in our own
It's
way.
again like you said, it's the choice of one versus many, right?
Yeah.
Do I choose the one person that I've been with for so long, or do I choose the whole several billion strangers that I don't know of,
Yeah.
and help them?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong; those ones make good logical sense. However, the problem that I'm pointing specifically, the fact that he has no personality, is the fact that he doesn't give a shit about what choice. It's basically a random fucking button, and just saying, "I'm gonna choose this. I'm gonna choose to date this girl," or something like that.
Okay.
I will put it like that. So let's say present Shirou Emiya with that scenario. Let's say, oh, there's a bunch of people I want to save versus, oh, I want to bang this girl. Oh, I want to bang this servant. I want to bang this sister.
I don't think that's the whole point. Like it all relates to how the anime and the game plays out. So I don't think his mindset is, oh, I'm just going to bang whichever girl is part of this route. I'll do say this, like he needs to have like a sturdy resolve, which he does have, but it's been proven throughout the whole arc, except for I believe Heaven's Feel, they've been proven wrong. So like he keeps saying, this is the proper way, this is the right way for me. Every character that he meets keeps telling him it's not right. And he just contradicts himself.
In its own matter, is sort of character. That sort of character wise, it is, because like, let's face it, he's sort of fighting against his own morals,
Right.
because this person has been with him for like a really long time. So it makes sense that like his own emotions sort of get in the way.
Right.
Yeah, I will put it like that. Yeah,
But that's the thing. I mean, like, again, I guess it's more realism that we try to put things through. So when we see him doing something that's based on emotions, we think this isn't the logical way to do it. That's why we're here.
Yeah, pretty much. And we're gonna get slaughtered for this, but I don't give a shit.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna start a horde of pitchforks and fires yet.
Anime pillows.
We rise in arms.
Oh my god.
Fucking, okay. Just for jokes, I will allow myself to be slayed by the Miyu version of Shirou. Every other Shirou can go fuck themselves.
I think my favorite versions of Emiya are the ones that actually sort of develop their own reality marble in their own sense. So
I'd say.
So All Thunder Snow, which is the Khalid one, and then Unlimited Blade Works. You should. It's actually really good.
Yeah, it looks pretty great. Yeah.
It's not ufotable, but it's still very good.
I would say I haven't seen it myself, but I heard really good things about it. Like say, yeah, just good reviews from that. Studio Dean is just pretty notorious for having. Yeah.
At least in the Unlimited Blade Works, they actually put strategy versus the Emiya versus Gilgamesh fight,
Oh god, no.
compared to the Studio Dean one.
Oh god.
Okay. That
Gilgamesh,
fight.
let's take away your
Gilgamesh is a story for a different time.
That's another podcast for another time.
That is.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, Dexter.
Okay, I think
I
Emiya.
just posted the image. Shirou Emiya is a bad character. Changed my mind.
Oh, okay, that's what you did. Okay, well, I'm surprised that at least 10 people actually stood up. Like, I thought there would be maybe a little bit more, because like you posted in like Forge communities, right?
The majority of them in Discord. I did get I think 3 or 2 people that were like really like, holy shit, why? One of them was Night Bison Ninja from an otaku Discord that is inevitably falling because the fucking owner's an idiot.
Oof.
No, sorry. I'm not sorry for that. And there's Manpig, who is a pretty good YouTuber, and he actually did an analysis on Shirou Emiya. I can actually bring it up for the next time, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He did an in-depth analysis, and I did watch it, I think for a good 2 to 3 times, yeah. And then, yeah, I think my point still didn't change about the fact that Shirou Emiya is a bad character. If only, I think it really just kind of proved my points as to why these things don't really align. Because from what I would see is the fact that all the good things that he technically listed, they all fall all under the roof that he still doesn't have no personality per se. It's not really guided through his actions. It's basically what kind of choices can I make and just be like, oh, that's technically my choice. I would put it like that. Yeah.
Well, I don't blame you just because, hello, light novel. So, like, yeah, it does seem very passive just because of the light novel routes. But, like, there are some things as his character that sort of stand out in each and every single variant as he faces the trials that come from the Holy Grail war. My bad, I said world. But, like, how Unlike Blade works, he's very up in the clouds. He doesn't want anyone to, like, bring him down to his dreams and, like, what he wants to pursue. But that naivety sort of does pay off at the end point of Unlimited Blade Works, because at the end he does have his own reality marble. He does beat Archer, his future self.
Yeah, but the fact is that Archer is, and it's stated by Nasu himself, the possibility of Shirou becoming Archer is very, very slim in these routes. It's like, it's minuscule to none.
It's basically, I would say, like a gambler sort of like fallacy. We don't talk about fallacies,
I would
but
say
it does
like
happen,
once Heaven's Feel is done, they actually explore that route. What caused it? There had to be reasons other than him. You know, he picked the world. Basically, that's what it said. He picked the world, and the world still hated him for that. And then that's how he went into becoming a counter guardian and so forth. He was basically summoned like that.
Yeah. Just a little quick head note. If you're using the Nasoverse wiki, I am pretty sure a lot of people are going to slaughter you.
I'm all up for that. I'm here to debate. I'm not here to, complain or cry like how everyone else is.
I'm pretty sure you just described.
I'm just debating.
People. Well, not you, Dexter. You're good.
I'm not saying like anything. I'm thinking more like what, as he was saying, and just thinking of like counter arguments, etc. But like, I think he is a good character because sometimes, like on his routes, as I said, like they test him, things change, etc. Right. And he sort of becomes a different person from the original person that he was inside of that series. Yeah. Like as I said, Unlimited Blade Works, he's like on cloud 9. He doesn't want anyone to like bring him down, stuff like that. And
I think that's where most of the memes come from, don't they?
Yeah, just like, what was the one famous meme?
Just because you're right doesn't mean.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and then it could be worse. The whole you got the Holy Trinity. People die when they're killed. Just because you're right doesn't mean you're correct.
Yeah.
And you celebrate your birthday for being born. And the Forbidden One. This city really does look like a city.
Oh my god.
I heard that's fucking garbage.
That's the cursed fourth one.
Oh my god.
That is the cursed fourth.
I didn't know about the fourth one actually.
Oh, that's from the extra. That was the extra one.
Oh.
Yeah, big titty Notatoria. Don't
Pride.
worry yourself. We have
FGO.
We have 2 big titty Artorias. One edgy and one normal.
Oh wait, extra. Okay, yeah. I remember. I watched what is it?
I watched a bit of it, but then I dropped it.
I was like,
the anime is just garbage.
The pacing, I don't know why they don't pace it properly.
I think it sort of just depends, like overall, like animation, like
Who did it this time?
I don't.
I think it's just another studio that's not Ufotable, but it's something else for sure.
I think it was sort of closer towards like, I think it was A1. I don't know, because I know A1 also did.
No, A1 did Fate Apocrypha for sure.
Okay, I know for sure that like Apocrypha, but I don't know about the other one.
Yeah, I think it's
Google that.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, but why?
Okay, let's get back on track.
That's a good thing to show, but yeah. Go ahead.
But yeah, I think throughout each and every single round, he just develops as a character. As I think one of the videos that I listened to like 2 to 3 times as I was like trying to do homework was the core of Emiya Shirou.
Oh yeah,
I watched that.
Yeah. Same.
That one like really got me to think deeper as his character overall in general, just because like how he laid it out. He used the 4 examples
Right.
of like the ones that I like. The one All Thunder Snow, Unlike Blade Works, the original Fate Stay Night, and Heaven's Feel, and how like they are as characters, like selfish dreamers, like realists and selfish realists, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think the only 2 Emmys that really stood up to me that I like the most is Unlike Blade Works, just for his purity and his dream chasing. I'm pretty sure that's like he's probably like sort of like the American dream one.
That's
He's
what
sort of
it
the
is.
American
Yeah, you're
dream
right.
one
You're
because
probably
he's
right.
able to actually obtain that what he wanted, and that's sort of like something I can respect.
Patriotism.
And I like the Heaven's Feel one. No, not the Heaven's Feel one. I mean the All Thunder Snow one, just because it's a lot more different. It sort of changes your whole view on Emiya in general, just because like
Wait, so we're talking about the what did you say?
All Thunder Snow.
Okay, so with that kind of stuff, are we talking about the Ilya one that we
Yeah,
did?
yeah.
That
Well, no, it's basically he's talking about the whole Clyde.
Oh,
Prisma series.
you mean the movie version, right?
The movie, like
Yeah.
I actually like that, to be honest.
that Emiya, All Thunder Snow, is probably like one of the best Emiyas because like their palettes are sort of different, like between the two, but they both end up with a reality marble of their own understanding and acknowledgement of the world, kind of thing, like or their views on the world.
Yeah.
Because Unlike Blade Works one is just like archers inside of the Unlike Blade Works one is like very like gear. It has gears. It has more of a cloudy setting. Sort of like feels like.
I would say
his views are a lot more like struggling.
Well,
It's basically, I'd say Oath in the Store is an original story, so that's probably why you see some Shirou as someone very different from what we have from Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, and
Yeah,
Heaven's
because he
Feel.
doesn't get the whole entire.
Yeah, he doesn't inherit Kiritsugu's views.
Yeah, because Kiritsugu is still alive, well,
Right,
and healthy,
right.
and he does his normal route, like as you see inside of like Fate Zero, where
Right.
he still like has those decisions where it's majority versus minority.
Right.
So he sort of gets that, and he puts his pride on just trying to save humanity first. And when they pick up Mew and then he passes away, he grows up with Mew until the age where it's time for him to actually make the sacrifice, where it's just like, okay, we're going to save humanity now. But since he spent so much time with Mew, understanding that now she is a person, she's not a thing anymore, he can't do it. And that I think that's character development on its own, because like that is realistic. I don't think you would put anyone down, like let's say you had a dog, like this is like as realistic as this is. You grow up with this dog, you know it for years, but you know the time is going to come where you're going to lose it, and you probably don't want to, or you want to try and prolong it as long as you can, and you just can't bring yourself to, like sometimes you can't bring yourself in order to do it.
Yeah, like it's a common phenomenon that I keep observing. Yeah, like it's because you've been like so invested into this, you would expect that, oh, this is really great. Like I understand that completely. Yeah, I personally, for me, I would be put in the same situation as Shirou. I would be like, yeah, but I would have worked it out a bit differently. I would say, okay, let's try a compromise per se, because I want to do this, but I also want to do this. You can choose one or the other, or I can try to make a third one. What I would say is impossible, but I would try, essentially.
Inside that movie, there was really no third choice, because, like, let's face it, she loses her life if she gets given up for the Grail. Let's be honest. So, like, he fights against the world. He legit fights against the world for this, because like now there's
Okay, I'll stop with the joke.
me against the world.
No, it's
Tokyo wa tomare!
King Crimson.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
How does he work? How does King Crimson work?
it just does. But yeah, go back.
Yeah,
up.
no, because it's him against the world. How his views on like how it's just like everything that's being taken away from him just because of this whole entire war now, where it's just like, oh, the one person I spent like life with, like growing up with, is now gone, and then when he finds out that Sakura, another person he cares about, decides to join the war, and then finds out that they just set her up just because affiliation to Emiya.
Yeah.
He sort of just like it shakes him. It shakes Emiya as a character, and it sort of contorts him around,
Okay.
and that what sort of like dives in deeper towards Emiya as a character because he doesn't have this fabled ideal from Kitsugo to pursue being a hero. It's him just being his own person, which is good because like it strives away from the light novel, so it's not like a predetermined palette.
It's more like an original story, and okay, we're gonna place Shiro Emiya into this type of character, and yeah, let's see that explore. And yes, to that extent, I will agree, but I am a bit conflicted about the fact that in this like original story of Shiro, I would doubt that he has a personality per se. That I need to do some more research in depth. But for now, I would say inconclusive, but mostly leaning to your opinion that yes, I do agree that this one is more better than the other Shiros. I would say, yeah.
Well, like the Old Blade Works one, like each like anything in the light novel is sort of like predetermined. That doesn't really, it doesn't seem like it doesn't have personality because like it's based off the routes of the light novel. But there are still some things that can seem a little bit more as like character. Like instead of being more passive, it's more active because from the consequence of Emiya and the Old Blade Works, just involving his naivety, is tested the resolve of by Archer, which I think stands out because like this is a test. This is a test proving like if you can actually like stick towards your guns.
Yeah.
Like can you talk the talk? Can you walk the walk?
It's basically I know it's pretty silent about
No,
it. You have
go
any-
on, go on.
But I can relate to this because I watched a movie called Full Metal Jacket, not Full Metal Panic or whatever. Yeah. So there is this famous scene where the Joker is actually put at wit's end about okay, he doesn't have the 1,000 yard stare, like something during in the Vietnam War, like saying you talk the talk, but can you walk the walk? And it's all proven time and time again that Joker doesn't really have that stare, so therefore he can't really prove it. It's only when proven to the ultimate test about okay, I'm gonna kill this girl, but can I bring myself to do that? Will I actually, do that hard choice? That and to that extent,
So like I think Unlimited Blade Works one is more of I think it's a between a mix of passive and active, because like due to his naive choices like things like how reckless he can be is because he doesn't think his life has much value to it because let's face it, when you like look at the backstory inside of Fate Zero, he was like one of the sole survivors inside of
he
like a
literally
city
goes
explosion.
through what's it called?
it's basically Survivors.
Survivors Guild.
Yeah.
That he was the only one that survived, and he doesn't have the right to live. So, and then from that, I guess in the UBW route, it's like Kiritsugu kind of gives him the will to live, I'd say. And then from that, he basically when he basically inherits Kiritsugu's ideals, he sticks to them, like you say, Dexter. But because of that, he kind of is at loggerheads with everyone that he meets through the Holy War.
Holy Grail War, but
Yeah, and then but as he goes, that like his ideals kind of shape him, and by the end you see, like something that is a Shiro Emiya that is completely different from, say, Archer or Stay Night's Shiro Emiya.
Just going a little bit more deeper into like the whole entire like how he sort of like reacts recklessly.
Go ahead.
It's just like it's the Survivors Guild thinks that he doesn't really care about, like he just goes in, like if that's the outcome that happens, he dies.
Mm-hmm.
He's just fine. I guess that means that like if my life for a cause for like many.
He just wants to help. That's the thing.
That's
I mean,
I think that's
his
probably
whole-
like one of
yeah.
the reasons what made him.
Throughout the series, it's
Hero.
shown like he helps, whatever he tries the best he can to help someone in need, whatever it may be, whether it end up getting him killed.
Fixing a furnace.
Yeah, fixing that furnace.
Yeah.
Fixing that furnace.
But that brings me to my ultimate question, to be honest. If Shiro has this Survivors Guild, then why aren't all children suicidal?
Well, that depends, right? Not every child goes up through a city being blown up in his face.
No, but okay. But my main point here is that okay, since he's done with this extreme, what do you say, like extreme survivor's guilt, I would say that's technically not how survivor's guilt works, because I would say that survivor's guilt works by okay, you experience a traumatic event and now you want to preserve your life rather than destroy it. I've seen time and time again, like throughout all the routes that I would see, he's always putting himself in danger, whether he likes. No,
He does.
he does like it.
He does put himself in.
Yeah,
danger.
he puts himself in danger, and that explains to me that do you really have survivor's guilt or don't you have survivor's guilt? Because you want to help someone, but you're being counterproductive.
So you're saying that he inside, like deep down, he may not want to live at all.
Yeah, and
You know,
I would
and
say
then-
conflict of interest would say, okay, do you have survivor's guilt or do you not? If you do, why the hell are you acting like this? That's what I would say.
In counter argument of that, I think he just doesn't like if I believe there's a video, I think it was Emiya Shirou versus Emiya Shirou, that adds a little bit more in depth on his like little bit like carelessness and recklessness, and one of the things that likes to add inside of like some senses, like yeah, I do get it that like when the fight between Archer and Caster, Emiya is also involved there as well. He doesn't. He wants to help out because he feels like he just doesn't want to stand by and do nothing. He wants to probably, like, yeah, maybe preserving his own life is probably like, yeah, that's probably like what anyone would want to do. Mm-hmm. But I think he just wants. Oh, geez, I'm losing my train of thought here.
Go ahead.
Okay, thinking back. Hold on. What's going on? Because like one of the points is that like he doesn't want to just be a bystander. He wants to. He wants to be more active. He wants to actually, like, provide, and which is one of the reasons why he sort of is reckless, because he's just going in and trying to help somebody, but like it's sort of counterproductive. Like, hey man, this is a spirit. Not many people can fight spirits, but he still wants to try anyway, just to help the situation, maybe like get the advantage and stuff like that inside of the story. Which can like in depth, I think inside of, I don't know if it's the anime or the light novel, they go in a little bit on saying like adding some words on like, oh yeah, no, I get it. I might not be able to add anything just because there's an advantage here, but I would still like to give it a try, nonetheless.
Okay. So like just to summarize all you said, it's basically he still wants to help, but I would say would be justified in the terms of okay, he should put himself in that danger. And I'm sorry to disagree, but I would say that if he's willing to put himself in danger, then I wouldn't say he's in survivor's guilt because of it. I would say he was just suicidal. I would say if he really wanted to help someone, why not do it in the ways that make it look subtle but actually mean something? So let's say that someone's like deep down in their luck, just like, oh no, my world's all like shattered. Like I know I'm acting pissy, but this is just an example. Yeah, like someone's like down on their luck, they're just like, I don't care about the world. Like Shirou could be like that kind of person and just be like, hey man, you want to talk about it? And he can just be like that kind of hero in that aspect, not in the literal sense, but like something like that, something that helps.
Well, sadly, we don't get to see that in any of like the anime works. Just see someone just like sort of suicidal and be like, "I don't want to live anymore," and Emiya just comes out of the blue, just like, "Hey man, want to just talk this out?"
Like I would say like more realistic ways of just like dealing with like if you really want to be a hero, just be helpful to the people. Like don't be this type of guy like you're trying to impress. Like fucking remember like back in 2006 or whatever, back in the day where we watched those like. Was Family on at that time? The Family Channel? Yeah. Like those jocks and those cheerleaders and all that kind of shit. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like if Chio's trying to be the Chad, he's doing a fucking terrible job at it.
I hope we're not talking about High School Musical.
He just tries to add more, like try and be for his usefulness. Like, let's face it, he's a student. He also has a part-time job for some reason,
Yeah.
and then he also takes on volunteer
Doesn't
work at the
every
same time.
anime character?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
He has a part-time job. He lives by himself. He goes to school. That's basically what they are half the time.
it is basically what they are half the time. But like, let's face it, he does volunteer. Like,
Yeah, he
like,
volunteers
does-
a lot.
He volunteers a lot.
In
for,
fact,
like,
he even
nothing
stays
at
for
all.
overtime too. He's like,
Yeah, he
oh
does.
shit.
Just like it was one of the reasons why inside of I think Heaven's Feel where he couldn't actually go like with the archery tournament, if I remember
Yeah.
right, just because I think he injured himself during work.
I think so, but then again, it's like because what's his face always pissed off Sakura's brother.
Shinji.
Yeah, Shinji.
Little pussy.
Like he's
Fucking die,
I don't
Shinji,
know why he
please.
doesn't die in every single route. He should.
To be honest, I thought as much as it's going to diverge from killing Emiya, but like I think killing Shinji is more of a
Yeah, killing
priority at this point.
I think that might be our next podcast. Killing Shinji.
No, I'm pretty sure that everyone agrees with that. Just kill
Oh, yeah.
Shinji. So there's no really argument.
That's
there.
true.
That is-
But see that because that's the thing. I mean, the reason why he gave up like archery was he was so good that he was indirectly standing up Shinji, who was who was at the time considered really great, and that's why Shinji started acting like the pussy he is or the asshole he is.
I would say due to jealousy.
Yeah.
If I were to put myself in Shinji's situation, it's a mix of Shinji with a bit of what the fuck are you doing? So, yeah, a bit of what the fuck are you doing?
Just
and
grow a pair.
what do you mean grow a pair?
No, I mean to Shinji.
Okay, Shinji, he's just the biggest pussy. What?
Yeah, he
so
needs
why
to
is he?
grow a pair.
So why is he written as this dude who gets chicks? What is he? The Sasuke of fate?
Not even. He's not even close to that.
Not even.
Not even close.
No, what I mean by that is like, oh,
He's like a watered down Chad. Okay,
yeah,
that's what he
watered down-
is.
Yeah,
It's a hand-me-down Chad.
Yeah,
Three
there-
generations over.
like Jesus Christ, man, like.
The term of Chad has changed, and you're just sticking to 3 generations ago. How fucking dare you?
I am an old person, okay? Like, I like to believe I'm mentally 50.
Oh my god.
No, not like this. Not like this.
Like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, just Shinji, fucking bad. I would say Shirou Emiya. I would say still bad. Still in the original story, I would say inconclusive, but I would mostly agree with you, Dexter. Yeah, he has some sense of a personality, and he does evolve in that specific way. So, yeah, I would agree with you in there. Yeah.
I still think like my favorite two personally, as of right now, would be Unlimited Blade Works and Oh Thunder Snow.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Why does everyone like a little bit of Blade Works? Besides the fact of the archer, besides the fact of the Rin, even though she's whatever.
Like for me, it's because he stuck to his guns. He's the most purest of the Emiyas because he is like I think he's like more the selfless dreamer because like
He basically stick to his guns. That's what
yeah
it is.
he stuck to
right?
his guns, but like he's more
And-
more innocent. He's more
Right.
innocent compared to the other ones because
Right.
like in the Dean one, he likes he ends up like falling in
Saber.
love with Archer with
Saber.
and he has to let it go and like
He's
like,
very bad at it, I believe.
And at the end point, it's just like, oh, okay. So, and then he does pursue his thing as a hero. And then on the Heaven's Feel one, it's just like, yeah, I want to be a hero, but that ideal is tested.
Yeah, because
he has to kill Sakura, but he doesn't do it because there's a lot of like emotional like.
Right, because it's
turmoil
like
behind.
his idea, like you said, his ideals are tested, and he himself realizes, oh shit, this
can't do
isn't
this.
working for me.
I can't do this.
I can't do this. You know, it's like
My waifu.
Yeah, my waifu. It's literally my waifu or the world. Okay, and he goes with my waifu.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
You know,
to be fair, in
which is like in a sense most people would do that
Okay.
because they have no what's the word I'm looking for?
sense of
They have
morality.
no, not
it's not
sense,
sense
of
of
It's
pride.
more they have no debt to the world, right?
Oh, okay.
It's like you
They-
said.
they own the world
It's like
nothing.
you said with in Oath Under Snow. He's been with Miyu for so long that you know, he's like, I can't let her go.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. He's been with Sakura for a very long time.
I believe it was like, I think when they did it inside of the movie, I believe it was like during his like last year, like during his like middle school years, or like when Sakura was in her like last 2 years of like middle school, or he just
Because
like,
I think she's his junior, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
because like he legit gives her the keys.
But yeah, that's true. Because
Okay.
she's had them for a while though.
She
hasn't
has them for a while.
Yeah, she has.
So like she has a big impact on his life because like
she does, and that's what annoys me is because she's there for him the whole time, right? And you know, once the Holy Grail War starts, you see Saber, you see Rin, you see freaking Emiya walking as if nothing, and you know they
walks in like
and
They're basically intruders.
Yeah, they're intruders, and that's the thing. You know, that's what I don't like about anime. They established one character who is goddamn with the MC for like who knows how long. I'm excluding the whole next door neighbor childhood friend thing. But like there's someone that like she's been with you long, and there are feelings, and you don't reciprocate them. Instead, you're going for the fuck all Sundre or who knows
person
what
who has
other
been dead for
character.
thousands of years.
There you go. Yeah, it's like
You into necrophilia, boy?
or yeah, there you go. Like the dead zombie.
But I think it's sort of just also along the lines, like this is sort of like the whole entire like harem thing where one girl offers something that the other girls don't.
I guess yeah.
That sort of could be like one of the things, but also like I think another one is just like, oh yeah, you have a crush on this one, and then like, whoop-de-doo, you've been spending
it's
a lot
like
of time with this
the
person, and then now
yeah.
you have another crush.
It's
And
like
you're
having the
oh, geez.
unattainable thing.
Yeah. Like it's just a.
I bet he's like, where's polygamy where?
It's like polygamous, maybe. Good point. No. Okay, yeah. Well, like we're diving deeper because we can, yeah. Personally, I disagree with polygamy because it always ends up with one or two outcomes. Either one, the guy dies, or two, everyone leaves him. Yeah, because
Gets caught.
no, but
No, because
no, because
polygamy means you can marry multiple.
no, you can marry anyone. This is the same problem with the fucking Shinmai Testament thing.
No. Not
He
going there.
marries everyone.
We're not going there.
Yeah, but my point is, like, in polygamy, it will always never end well.
Yeah. It won't.
Yeah. So the fact that you're
Unless you're rich.
even when you're rich,
No, trust me, it'll work when you're rich.
yeah, you can bribe them for God knows how long.
But like, how long will that last
Yeah.
until you run out of money? Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, like there's only so much resources you have before you deplete them, both literally and figuratively.
It all depends, right?
Yeah, when you're done, when you're done with one girl, how about the other?
Oh God. We're going back to medieval times then.
That's
Yeah, like that's
That's
the
what
thing with
it is.
polygamy. Yeah,
What is it, King George? King Henry?
I think it was King Henry.
Yeah.
The one who's like, I want to divorce my wife. No. Okay, I'll start a new religion.
No, I mean like he married a wife, and then once he was done with her, he'd end up cutting her head off.
No, that was the Anne Boleyn one. Well, his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, he didn't like her initially. Oh, we're doing history now. That's great.
oh, sweet.
So yeah.
Hashtag kill Emiya. Hashtag medieval review time. Oh my God.
Yeah, good shit.
It's all part of it.
Yeah, but my point is like polygamy never end well. Shirou, if you're gonna end up with a polygamy, you're making me want to kill you.
I think
even
Carnival
more.
Phantasm.
They had a
They
gag.
they had a gag in it where it's like they play it as like how what is it the
Okay, what happened is just like the skit is just like the main character
plays
from
out
Melting
like
Blood,
those
and
love
then
games.
The
love
plays like a
simulator
dating
games.
sim where like at different parts of the day you have to go on a date, and so they're just like running around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one I saw.
That
It was Shiki. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Death Note eyes, kid.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
pretty funny because it's just like. This place at 2:00. This place at 4:00. Carnival time. They all meet up in the same location. It's just like coincidence.
Not good, like bad shit. Like, yeah, like these are the things I like to value about like technology. Ooh, like back in my day, we didn't have to do this, but now with technology, you can technically.
Yeah, but without technology, you could basically get away with so much stuff.
we're trying to do holograms now. You seen the Yu-Gi-Oh thing? It's actually
Hey
happening.
man, I want to be sliced in half by like Neos. Wrath of Neos.
Oh,
None of I negate
I
my.
don't want that, man. Why do we need this?
Hey man,
Dude, you'd be surprised how many fetishes we have in the modern world.
Oh yeah, no,
Well, no,
no.
duh.
Speaking of just like just a little bit like off traffic kind of thing. I was watching We Never Study, or like We Never Learn, like the anime series that was like that was recently airing this season. I don't know the anime term, like the Japanese term, like boku something something. So, but it's like in English is We Never Study. Last episode, there was this person who was taking down all the targets, and there's this kid watching her is like, Mask Beauty is doing so good. And then the next two lines were just like, how can kids say this? Like literally, what the? Because what they said is that I would want her to step on me. I would want her to shoot me.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
yes, that was like so out of left field, and I had a debate about it with like another person, and just like it's anime, and just like yeah, anime does sort of do this kind of thing, but they don't take it to
I'm
like
surprised
this
no
level.
one jumped on. No one from the PC parties jumped on that.
But it's just like what funny enough, it's just like one of them like made a better argument, which would make things a lot more funny. It just like depends on the living condition. What kind of living condition? Patient name, rat insert name here.
Oh my
Age, age, living condition. Heart stops when without current condition. What is the condition? Being stepped on by a MILF.
Oh my god.
No comment for that. Yeah, it's never gonna fucking end well for polygamy. So yeah, just back on top. Yeah, polygamy bad. Choose one girl.
I think we like went off rail
We
for like
seriously
10 minutes.
went off rails, like literally.
So bad.
We went off rails.
Because like we just started off like the whole entire like oops. We're peaking. We're peaking. But
Okay, so in general, I would say my closing statement for this would be, you can play. Okay, I wouldn't necessarily play it, but I would say you can be this this character can go from I want to save this girl and chick to I want to fuck this chick that I just saved, and I would say there would be no consistency to the personality at all at that point. Yeah, I would say you cannot tell me that's really good writing in that aspect. Yeah.
I would say, kind of, it's all based on the routes, I'd say.
it's all based.
Yeah, it's he does like the way he starts is a bad character, and it depends on what route he goes through. With Stay Night and UBW, I'd say he kind of messes that up. With Stay Night, it's like it goes terribly wrong. UBW, I'd say he kind of forces himself through everything and gets his way. And then we have Heaven's Feel, which basically is supposedly the right method, where he realizes this is my ideas don't work in this world, so I might as well go with something that can be right toward like through society's views, I'd say. Yeah. All in all, like
Doesn't he just pick the one girl versus the world?
I know that's the thing, right? He chooses the girl over the world, but inevitably he ends up saving the world too in one way.
That is true because
Yeah.
corrupt.
Yes.
All in all, like he starts as a bad character, but he'll end up to some people, to the masses, he'll end up becoming a good character depending on what route you like and what route he takes.
Yeah.
Like I personally like agree with most of the statements he says because I'm just like my personal favorites are just to repeat again.
Yeah.
Also Under Snow, Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah.
Unlimited Blade Works is probably the most purest of Emiya's, just because he keeps his ideals, and he lives out like the way he initially does. So he gets to live his dream. Like his reality marble becomes a lot more inspirational compared to Archer's, which is all geared up, all clouded. As like when Emiya changes it, it becomes a lot more brighter, clear clouds. Everything shines. It's rising of a new day, like success for tomorrow, kind of thing. And I like, which is like one of the things that makes it great, but oh geez, I'm losing train of thought again. Jeez, but yeah, Leonard Blade works as the palette. I think it's a good character just because like from one point to another, it just sort of resonates with me quite well. I'm pretty sure some people do because like, hey, you get to pursue your dreams. I'm pretty sure everyone in this world wants to pursue their dreams. And I like the character from All Thunder Snow because it just really rattles up the foundations that Emiya doesn't have anymore. So he doesn't get the inspiration from Kiritsugu, like of the fabled hero. So he doesn't really pursue it because like Kiritsugu is more like there.
Per se.
Yeah, it becomes more idealistic. And then his reality marvel is just like he's just a small flicker just roaming this land of snow. And I think it's more like poetic. Like the reality marbles add a deeper layer, and then which resonates with the character of Emiya, which I think just makes Emiya a good character.
All right. Well, I don't necessarily agree with all those points that you said, like all of them, but I do agree with some of them for sure. Like one that the Unlimited Blade Works, I would say, it would be pretty good. Anyone can admire that, to be honest. I would say, yeah, and the original one. I would say everything else would be just garbage in my opinion. The Heavens Feel one, I'm not so sure.
It's still
Yeah.
ongoing. As of
Yeah,
right now,
that's
so I
the
don't
thing.
know
Yeah.
how
It's
the
like
end point-
the thing is, it's basically the canonical route, the most canonical route that there is.
No, it's actually the Fate one, the one with Saber.
Is it?
Yes.
Wait,
'Cause
which
the-
one's the?
No, because I've heard that, and I think like Nasu himself confirmed that Heaven's Feel is basically the good ending.
He actually changed his mind.
Oh, really?
He changed his mind.
Wow.
From sources that
That's sad.
I can't say wiki because people are gonna fucking bone.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
that.
you don't really go with wiki. I mean, if it's like a source that, like a media source, that would be better.
I
But
think
don't go with
it's up to
wiki.
interpretation. What do you think should be canon at this
Yeah.
point?
I think.
Welcome to Doctor Who Canonic,
Oh,
canon, where everything's equal.
Oh,
I
God.
think Unlimited Blade Works is canon.
I think my
Heaven's Feel, man, all the way, Sakura.
I think Rin should be canon.
No.
Literally.
No.
Hashtag defenseless anus.
We're making it not like this.
But yeah.
Sakura's waifu.
I think for the next podcast, if we want to do this, would you be willing to?
What character we're doing?
No, I would say a follow up to the previous one, but I would say
What? I think.
problems with Nasuverse. I would say kill Nasuverse. Would that be great?
Wait, what's this?
It's basically where I
It's
basically
basically an accumulation of not just the Fate series, but the Shiki, the what's the other one, Tsukihime,
yeah.
because they basically
yeah,
they
yeah.
basically
Oh, we're going over like the Moonverse.
We're going
Yes,
Doctor
yes,
Who terms
yeah.
of fucking extent.
because that's what it is. Like Nasu stated that Fate, along with Fate, Tsukihime and Shiki also reside in the same universe,
No, it's alternate.
alternate, I
Yeah.
guess.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So that wraps up. I think my main goal should be just how can I convince your minds that he's a bad character? Because I know he's a good character in your own right, but I'm technically not convinced. Not
There are
yet.
ways that
Yeah.
he is a good character, but most of his signs show that what he does isn't what a good character will do. At
Not
all.
really. Yeah, I would say.
I still think he's a good character. Yes, there's some flaws, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And like they said, no human is perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
Like at the end of the day, these are all opinions. No worries. Yeah. So
Don't at me, don't fight me, don't come with a plane ticket and hunt down my house.
You'll never find me, trust me.
or me anyway. I never post my address on like some idiots, like my freaking high school friends.
Don't DDoS.
That's wonderful.
But yeah. So thanks.
Asterisk?
Yeah, Asterix and Dexter.
Yes.
Yep. And me, Lance Moriarty. So yeah. We'll catch you all next time in the next podcast and see you later. Bye bye.
My waifu.
Nutty.
All right. See ya. And be respectful to one another if you can. Oh, and if someone can get Takadai-kun or Manpig to this podcast, that'd be great. Thanks. Now bye.